says in the next part of the exercise, you need to be aware that a plus b, so the whole bracket squared, is equal to the bracket multiplied by itself. Guys, we know that, right? We know that when you are squaring something, that means that you are multiplying it by itself, right? So, for example, x squared is the same as x times x, right? We know that, yes? So it's very important, guys, that when we have brackets that are being squared, we need to first write it as the bracket multiplied by itself. Okay, so for C1, I'm going to do a few of these with you guys, and then I'll give you the rest to practice on your own for a bit. When we are looking at x plus 1 squared, now guys, I can tell you now already the most common mistake, and people for some reason continue doing this even in matric. When I mark matric final exams, I still see people doing this. They think that when you have a bracket squared, you can just say x squared plus 1 squared. But guys, remember, the rule is if you have something like this, right? Morning, do you have a slip?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Do you want?
Yes, thank you. All right, when you have something like this, 3x or whatever, it can be 3xyz, it can be 3x to the power 4, whatever, in a bracket squared, then we are going to square the 3, so 3 squared is 9, and x squared, right? Guys, what is the difference between the question in black and the question in blue? Yes, Seth? Yes, there are 2 terms in this bracket. In this one, there is only 1 term in the bracket. And guys, that was the exponent law that we did earlier in the year. The exponent law was that if you have AB to the power of m, right, that's the law that we wrote down, and then we practiced it. AB is 1 term. Do you see there's no plus or minus in between them, right? AB means A times B. That's 1 term. Then the exponent law said that becomes A to the m times B to the m. This exponent law is not applicable to when we have more than 1 term in a bracket. Okay, do we see the difference here? 1 term in the bracket, then we just square everything in the bracket. But when we have more than 1 term, we need to write it as the bracket multiplied by the same bracket. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. We are going to say that this is equal to x plus 1 times x plus 1. That is what you do when you are squaring anything, right? You're multiplying it by itself. In this case, it's just a bracket that you're multiplying by itself. And now, guys, do we see that this is a binomial and that is another binomial? So what do we do when we have to multiply 2 binomials together? We learned this yesterday. We use FOIL. Okay, multiply those brackets out on your own, please. All right, there we go. So for the F, for first, you say first term times first term. X times x is x squared. Then you're going to do your outer terms. X times positive 1 is plus x. Then you do your inner terms. Positive 1 times x is plus x. And then you do your last terms. 1 times 1 is 1. Then hopefully we can see that our 2 middle terms there are like terms. So 1x plus 1x is going to give you 2x.